Today I bring you a story about a girl who, after being abandoned by her boyfriend, transforms into a zombie queen and leads her little zombie minions on a wild quest for revenge. This is a fantastical zombie film titled The Remains. The movie is absolutely thrilling. The film begins. Inside an entertainment venue in a small town, people are happily playing and having fun. Furious Sister and her boyfriend Little Mustache both work at this club. During a break, Furious Sister takes Little Mustache to a small dark room. That part isn't very interesting, so I've skipped it for you. Meanwhile, outside, a nuclear test is taking place. A series of explosion strikes and the entire town is doomed. Suddenly the power goes out, and the two are locked inside the dark room. With no way to get out to work, they decide to take a rest. After a while, the power comes back, and work must resume. They go into the hall only to find utter chaos. Just as they wonder what has happened, a zombie attacks Furious Sister. Fortunately, Little Mustache intervenes just in time and takes down the zombie. At that moment, a short person appears from behind, startling Furious Sister. It turns out that the short guy had been working in the warehouse and barely escaped the disaster. He leads them to the surveillance footage, showing that outside has become a zombie paradise. A tall guy is besieged by zombies. After betraying his teammates, he runs into the club. Furious Sister clearly despises this traitor, but at least the tall guy hasn't been infected. So his first act is to clear out the zombies inside the building. They confine the uncontrolled zombies to a designated area. In one room, they find a survivor named Misfortune Sister, lying there with a zombie feasting nearby that hasn't yet noticed her. Little Mustache certainly can't stand by and watch her die and moves in to help. However, when Misfortune Sister crawls over, she makes a noise that alerts the nearby zombie, and in an instant, she meets her fate. Furious Sister and the others are forced into another room. In a critical moment, they break through a window and jump into a swimming pool. Just as Little Mustache climbs to the edge, a zombie emerges from the pool. This frightens Furious Sister into a cold sweat, and with Little Mustache's help, she safely reaches the shore. Sure enough, a drenched girl is the sexiest of all. Little Mustache, seeing Furious Sister's disheveled state, bursts into a laugh that sounds like a pig's squeal. Regardless, at least the building is temporarily safe. The club's abundant supplies can sustain them for a while, though it is rather boring. Life in the apocalypse. Bored and lonely, Furious Sister takes up smoking while watching the short guy perform magic tricks, finding a little fun in the end of the world. However, the warehouse supplies are slowly dwindling, and Little Mustache feels that hoarding resources isn't a long-term solution. Yet Furious Sister refuses to take risks, so she continues her solitary habit while two idiots on the other side are busy playing cards and show no sign of romance. It seems only the short guy is open to conversation. Being sensible, he chats with Furious Sister about life. At that moment, Little Mustache joins in, suggesting they leave the city and go to an island called California, where there should be no nuclear radiation. Furious Sister isn't convinced by Little Mustache's idea, thinking he's just playing the hero, and they end up having a big argument. This matter eventually dies down. That day, Little Mustache sees a convoy from the rooftop and, after alerting his companions, comes up with a plan: to go to the dance hall across the street, where there is a searchlight. Without wasting time, leaving the short guy as backup, they set off. Interestingly, these zombies have a habit of sleeping, so they carefully navigate through the horde. Furious Sister is indeed ruthless. If she's not taking risks, she's holding back. But once she does take them, she is fiercer than anyone, even handing a handgun to a zombie. Truly, her skill is matched only by her daring, and she successfully acquires a handgun. They make their way to the searchlight and, as they flip the switch, music blares through, echoing across the entire town. As you might expect, the noise awakens the zombies. The tall guy, after successfully betraying his teammates, returns to the building, while Furious Sister and her group hide in a bus. On the bus, Furious Sister ends up arguing with Little Mustache again, lamenting that she should never have trusted the treacherous tall guy. Little do they know, a zombie was hiding on the bus. Little Mustache's pinky gets bitten. After shooting the zombie, Furious Sister isn't done. She grabs an axe and chops off Little Mustache's finger. At that moment, a convoy of armed people arrives outside, quickly driving the zombies away. Just as Little Mustache and the others are about to welcome them, the leader, Black Boss, reveals that his intentions aren't pure and takes them under custody. However, Black Boss's daughter, Little Black Girl, turns out to be nice. As the convoy's medic, she examines Little Mustache's wound, and their flirtatious exchanges make Furious Sister very uneasy. Meanwhile, the short guy, while in the restroom, overhears Black Boss and his henchmen discussing that the warehouse supplies have been completely cleared out. He then realizes that the tall guy had long since betrayed them. Naively, the short guy immediately demands an explanation, only to be swiftly killed. Furious Sister loses her temper, picks up her handgun, and starts fighting back. Little Mustache barely escapes thanks to Little Black Girl's protection. Showing some cunning, Little Mustache tells Black Boss that there are still supplies. A few henchmen follow him to investigate, and he leads them to a room filled with zombies, from which a massive horde surges out. At the critical moment, the convoy is forced to flee in a panic. Now, inside the building, only Little Mustache and Furious Sister remain. With all the supplies gone, they must come up with another plan. The escape and the twist. When hope seems lost, Little Mustache discovers a zombie with a car key hanging from its waist. With perfect teamwork, they manage to retrieve the key. They head to the garage in search of a car. In the garage, Little Mustache is startled when a zombie is crushed under a car. With one shot, the alarm on all the cars goes off. Hearing the noise, the zombies swarm, but fortunately they escape in time and find the car. Whether it's luck or misfortune, they discover that the garage door is locked. The car has no key card either, so Furious Sister tries to ram the garage's rolling door with the car, but her strength isn't enough to make any difference. They have no choice but to hide in the staircase, and now it looks truly grim. At night, subsisting on their last remaining food as they face what might be their final moments, they wonder if they should do something. Just then, the sound of a car approaches, and Furious Sister recognizes it's none other than Little Black Girl coming. The arrival of this rival in love makes Furious Sister uneasy. Little Black Girl explains that her convoy in the desert was attacked by zombies. Desert zombies are stronger and faster, and everyone else was wiped out except her. Her joining only intensifies Furious Sister's displeasure. She vents her emotions on the rooftop while Little Mustache and Little Black Girl exchange flirtatious glances, leaving Furious Sister to drink her loneliness alone. The next day on the rooftop, they see that the desert zombies have arrived and they must quickly leave this place. They decide to use a bomb to blast open the garage's rolling door. They go to the kitchen and set up the bomb. During the escape, Little Black Girl twists her ankle, and Little Mustache insists on taking her along, which further irks Furious Sister as she feels it will slow them down. Little Mustache believes he cannot just stand by and let her die. Furious Sister loses her temper once more. She uses an axe to knock Little Mustache unconscious and even gives her rival a lesson. She heads to the garage to install the bomb, completely unaware that a desert zombie has crawled in, biting her. As the bomb's countdown begins, Furious Sister and the zombie are blasted away simultaneously. Meanwhile, the bomb in the kitchen also enters its countdown. Regaining consciousness, Little Mustache and Little Black Girl quickly flee. When the rolling door finally opens, zombies swarm around Furious Sister while Little Mustache and his companion hide in the small dark room. The bomb's detonation wipes out most of the surrounding zombies, leaving Little Mustache and Little Black Girl as the last survivors. They make their way to the garage, jump into the car that leads to hope, and vanish around the corner of the town. Unbeknownst to them, Furious Sister, now armed with a shotgun, is lurking behind. At that moment, she has transformed into the Zombie Queen, awakening her dormant zombie minions, and is about to launch an unprecedented revenge. And that, my friends, is another story. The film is over. Final thoughts. After watching this movie, Yaya must say that although it is a low-budget zombie film, the heroine's looks are on point, making the whole experience completely believable. If you liked it, remember to follow and like, and we'll see you next time.